Hello and welcome to Health Bites. I'm Dr. Lisa Schuster. For this episode, I wanted to talk to you about an option that's out there to help turn breech babies through a chiropractic care with the Webster In Utero Constraint Technique. Now, this Webster In Utero Constraint Technique has been around for over 20 years and has a success rate of up to 82%. 82% is pretty high. And I've been doing this now for about 20 years. I've had lots of babies that have turned when I've done this techniques. I'm not alone. There's lots of chiropractors across the country that are doing this. And I want to get the word out there as much as possible and explain more about it to you, because nowadays when women present with a breech baby, pretty much the only option they have for delivery is C-section. Cesarean section is major abdominal surgery. If you're in an emergency situation, absolutely you need to get it done. However, if you can do things to prevent any kind of surgery, that's my goal, to help spread that word. If that's possible for you, do everything you can to help prevent that major abdominal surgery. So, usually when a woman presents to her OB-GYN that she's got a breech baby, they don't typically want to do a C-section, so they will send her to the hospital to do a version, an external version. And with an external version, they are taking their hands on the belly and trying to turn that baby from head up to head down. However, there is another way to look at doing it from the outside, and that's with chiropractic. The Webster In Utero Constraint Technique was developed by Dr. Larry Webster. That's why it's called the Webster Technique. And he found years ago a reason. He just realized that he knew the anatomy. He knew the anatomy of the pelvis, have all those bony structures. And what's sitting in there is the uterus. What is surrounding the uterus? There are 8 ligaments. There are ligaments that are going from the back of the tailbone into the uterus. There are ligaments in the front where the pubic region and the bladder is. They go to the front part of the uterus. There are ligaments on either side of the pelvis that are close to the hip area inside, and they go also into the uterus. So the uterus is like architecture. If you imagine a tall building and it's got all these stays all around it, what if one of those stays pulls too much? The building's going to lean. That's what you have to, that was the concept that he thought. Oh my goodness, what if these ligaments, those 8 ligaments, if a woman, because of a previous accident, car crash, fall when she was a kid, if she had other kids and she put them on her hips, anything that twisted her from the back and the front, anything that could create those bony structures to twist all those ligaments, all those stays, that was going to cause constraint in the uterus. Once you start to do the work with chiropractic care, the specific analysis of those bony structures, you help to get motion into those areas, help to realign those areas, then those stays, those ligaments all around the structure can all be even. That reduces the constraint on the uterus, and boom, the baby is in a much better position to move, go head down the way it's meant to be in the last trimester of the pregnancy. So that is, in a nutshell, what the Webster In Utero Constraint Technique is. It's not only just for breech babies. A lot of times women that have transverse pregnancies, where the baby is head side to side, the head and butt are side to side, that also is terrific at helping to remove any kind of constraint and move the baby into the head down position. Also, women that get chiropractic care during pregnancy, those that, one study showed that first-time mothers who received chiropractic care, they delivered, this is first-time mothers, they delivered 22% faster than those who did not receive chiropractic adjustments, and 37% faster on subsequent births. So that was one study that showed there's a lot of women that go to chiropractors. They did a study and showed 22% faster for the first time birth and 37% faster on subsequent births. So that's a nice number. And it feels good. It's also been terrific for indigestion. A lot of times pregnant women will have pain when they go to lift their leg in their front. They might feel like their baby's going to fall out. So all of these techniques, these specific analysis that the Webster In Utero Constraint Technique does, it's constantly evaluating what's going on with those bony structures, how can we get it in the best alignment, have the best pregnancy, and then the best birth possible. Okay, I hope that you learned something completely new, and please spread the word around that the midwives, doulas, obstetricians, gynecologists, everybody who knows this, pregnant women, anybody who would like to avoid getting a C-section if they can, if it has to do with the bony structures, believe you me, within like 3 to 5 adjustments typically, that baby will turn. Okay, until next time, I'm Dr. Lisa Schuster for Health Bites.